does mention in conversation after she's had a few drinks and buttered everyone up with some drinks of their own that she's never seen Therese or Jeanette in the same room together. That's it.
Okay.
She's never seen a picture of them together. She's never seen, actually hasn't really seen any pictures of them either, but mostly she's never seen them in a room together. Like, they just don't hang out ever together.
Hello, Therese.
But she has met both. And there's that. So you guys all end up sort of meandering back to each other. A good spot to meet, since the apartment is not available, might be actually the
flower shop,
the Pacific Wheel, Pacific Park, the Santa Monica Pier. It's only like 2 blocks from your house or your apartment, so good place, lots of people.
Yeah, I could probably down those leftover beers by the time I get there. So
yeah, you got a few hours.
How far do I live from the pier?
Your place, actually, let me think. Where is that geographically? The Castro.
Castro's in San Francisco, actually.
It's in okay, so that's a little ways away. Like not too far, but it's like the next few towns or cities over or something like that, I think.
No, you're talking about like a 5-hour drive. 5 to 6.
From San Francisco to Santa Monica?
To LA, yeah.
Okay. Oh, there we go.
I've done that drive a couple of times.
Nice. Let me just double check that. So yeah, it's a little ways away. I mean, it's not as far as some of these people have probably driven, but it's a little ways away.
Okay. So I wouldn't have popped back by my place and then come back.
Oh yeah,
over
it's a little ways up north. Damn, that's a lot further north than I have.
I mean, we're in Santa Monica.
Yeah,
so
LA is actually kind of big in and of itself, size wise, but also it's all car and it's all traffic.
Yeah.
So are we all driving 5 hours? Are we going to meet?
No. You're probably all going to like the Santa Monica Pier is what I would assume, like the Pacific Park.
How far is the pier from our condo?
From your old condo, only a few blocks. Like
7 blocks is what you said last time, I think.
It's like 4 maybe, because you're on Colorado Street. Is the Colorado Avenue is the road that leads directly away from the shore, sort of like eastward in, and 4 streets down. It's 4th Street. You're on 4th, you're not on 4th in Colorado. You're on 2nd.
I'm gonna run to the little Chiquita's room real quick.
So actually, you're only like 2 blocks from the pier where you guys started.
I'll drive my car over to pier parking.
Yeah, pretty much. Not 2nd in Colorado. It's a couple of streets maybe over, like a little bit, a couple of streets north, but it's still very close.
I'll park my car in the parking for the pier and then take the keys out and throw them in the back seat and start pounding those beers.
Nice. Very nice. So yeah, eventually you guys will all meet at the pier and figure out what you're going to do for the night. I'm going to grab another beer. I also have to pee, so I'll be right back. All right, good. Everybody took a little tiny break.
Right now, none of us have been contacted about anything else further, right?
Oh, from the law firm or
from anybody? Because I mean, we're all sort of like independent individuals who.
Yeah, so you've all gone about your own individual businesses, but at this point, you've all been contacted by Scorley about the fact that your apartment is now vacant.
Now, would he have tried to call me again, or would Bob have just told me?
I feel like Bob would have. Yeah, it could go either way. I mean, I think he knew you were both together, so I feel like Bob probably would have told you.
Which means he chose to call Bob.
Yeah, he chose to call Bob. Just, as much as they are polar opposites, they apparently do connect on some level. No,
who are you talking to?
Huh? I'm talking to Joe.
Joe?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Cool. I didn't hear you a second ago. My shit was muted. It just sounded like Nick was talking to himself because I could only hear his head.
No, you just caught the end of the conversation where I trailed off into some fucking whatever the hell I was saying.
We're getting ready to meet up at the pier. We were talking about whether we'd ever gotten the calls.
Gotten what?
Whether
gotten
he
the
had
calls
gotten the
from you.
call. Yeah, because everybody got the call, and he was
Yeah,
making sure
whether
that he was
Bob would.
included in on that, and that's why. Because you didn't specifically call him per se, but you called
So, like,
Bob.
how did Bob?
Yeah, I just told Bob to tell you that's
Yeah.
not a hate thing. That's just efficiency. I know you get two were together. Frankly, I should have called you instead of Bob because Bob's creeped me the fuck out.
Exactly. That was what we and him were just
Yeah,
laughing about. That
I
you
guess
called
he
Bob
chose to
instead
call
of
Bob.
John.
But I really should have called you. I just wasn't thinking right.
Well, you also might have known that I probably wouldn't answer because I was at a gallery, and you knew that Bob wouldn't care. So practically, you would have chosen to call Bob if you wanted to get to us.
Theoretically, yeah, that sounds really nice. I'm going to give my character that out.
Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough.
He's a detective. His first instinct when Bob answered was like, "Wow, what an asshole you answered the phone." So,
I fucking knew it. Fucking knew you would.
So you knew that I wouldn't.
yeah, that's fair. I probably knew you wouldn't. Or I hoped you wouldn't. Or maybe because I don't like Bob, I wanted his phone to go off in the middle of a museum. I don't hate Bob. Bob just scares the shit out of me. So
Bob makes people uncomfortable by being Bob.
uh,
Damn, Chris must be like taking a shit or cooking dinner or something.
I think he's making out with Brian. They must have met halfway between each other's houses.
Ah, yeah.
It'll do.
So, I want to wait for him to get back, but I also kind of want to just get this thing rolling and catch him up. Yeah, we'll get it started and we'll see what happens. There's a dog, so Chris will probably be back in here in just a second.
Yeah.
Gohan, judging by the size. And the sleekness. So yeah, so you guys have time to sort of like call around and maybe find a place to stay, hotel or something like that.
Let's see. We could. Right in that area, the Huntley Hotel is right there, near where we would have
Do you
been.
know any nice areas, places in the area?
Yeah. So I will just go ahead and tell you that there are a couple of areas, like hotels in the area, you know, good few, and they are booked solid. Like it's, you know, Halloween's coming up. A lot of crazy shenanigans is going down. There's a costume party and such on the, you know, at Pacific Park. Ton of people. I mean, the hotels are fucking booked solid.
Let me
Would I
call
know
Thompson.
anything? Would I know a guy who would know a guy who could get us a room?
Maybe. Hold on one second.
Preferably a big enough room that we could all be there.
I was going to say the same thing. Let me call Thompson and Benedict and see if they knew anything. So.
Yeah. Okay. So it's in the evening, but it's definitely still within their operating hours. Both of you, actually, I'll go ahead and tell you now. Both of you call around, call some contacts, and you get sort of the same answer. It's not ideal, but if everything is booked up, and like you don't know, you know, any people around here personally that'll give you a place to stay, especially if it's just for like a night or two or something, there's a shelter that's only a few blocks away from you, called the Access Point, and you guys can go there and chill for the night. It's actually like not bad. Like it's not like it's run down or anything like that. It's actually a pretty well operated place, and it would give you a place to like get your shit together and like, you know, figure out what you're gonna do next.
Well, if that's what we're gonna do, we could just go to. We could pop into a little diner or a bar.
Well, right. Oh, what I'm saying is like it'll give you like the couple of days or so that you might need to arrange something. Yeah, it's not like a few hours or whatever. Like you'll spend a couple of nights, days there at least, just to kind of get everything together. You know.
We'd squat. Although Apple Slice would have probably invited us back to her place.
I have an idea.
We'd have to find out.
You know, I'm always combing the news. Is there any? Do I recognize any addresses from the place that someone might have gotten killed recently?
Addresses. I'm thinking no, not while you're watching the news today. No.
Okay.
Nothing seems to pop up, but keep that energy. Keep that same.
Yeah. I personally won't mind dropping off these liberals to a government assistant place, but I would personally just sleep in my car. but I could sleep nearby. If that makes them feel safer having, someone who can protect themselves nearby.
Yeah, it's a possibility.
That isn't a psychopath.
So, that being said, Chris, all you've really missed out on is that we're discussing what the next options are, and they seem to keep circling around. You guys are all kicked out of the apartment.
Mm-hmm.
There's obviously no one's like just gonna set you up in an apartment overnight or whatever. You'd have to actually go. There's a showing. There's a whole bunch of shit. And all the hotel rooms in the area are booked, like for the surrounding areas. Like, it's ridiculous right now because we're so close to Halloween. A lot of festivities are happening. So, what has been suggested is there is a homeless shelter called the Access Point that is very close to you guys, and you could spend the next day or so there while you wait for something to open up.
Well, me, I always believe that government assistance is key to a strong survival in the economy today. So I don't see why
it's really just it's their responsibility.
Shelter. They owe a civic duty to us to take care of us when we're out on our own, like nights like tonight.
What's our glue now?
Your glue?
Yeah. So like, why are we still all hanging out when we didn't really like each other all that much before, got together for a job?
Yeah,
the job seems to be done. We've been paid for it. We got kicked out of the place where we were together. I live in this city. What's the glue?
So, well, you do live 5 hours away. You live in San Francisco, right? Or do you?
No.
I
live in LA. I've lived in LA for 20 years.
Oh yeah, that's right. This is Santa Monica, so Santa Monica's
I mean
part
LA.
of LA. Yeah, it's all the same place basically.
I've got a job in town, so I'm sticking it out until at least that's done.
Yeah, and everybody hasn't exactly. It's only been you guys have only lost the apartment an hour ago, and also you haven't made arrangements for everybody to sort of go back to wherever you're going.
Yeah.
But there's also
how
some
big
weird
is my
shit.
place?
There's also what's your credit rating?
I think it's a 45. Hold on.
In LA, it's a shoebox. Yeah, with a 45 credit rating, it's a shoebox. But I will say that
big enough for him and Bob.
I will say that also the fact that you're all still together. You just did that. You've got this credit card, whatever, but you're all still together because you haven't had a ton of time to split. And also, while you all have very conflicting ideologies, you obviously do tend to get shit done when you're together.
Well, why don't we get the best accommodations that we can? There's got to be something that we can buy. I have the company's card.
Right, but you don't have a company card that you're going to be able to buy a house with or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
And there's no availability for the hotel rooms or whatever. So everything seems to be everyone seems to be pointing you in the direction of sort of the Access Point, homeless shelter.
Okay. You guys thinking 10?
There is something that you could set up, but it would take a couple of days at least if you really rushed it. So
Gotcha.
Is it illegal to sleep on the beach in California?
I'm just going to say yes.
I don't know.
Well, what I'm going to do is I have a job that I have to settle, and then I'm going to come back out here and stay at this shelter and get me some shut-eye and, earn some of my tax dollars back.
Very nice.
Well, I sleep in my car in the parking lot of that shelter.
I see our Republican friend is also taking solace in this shelter.
Negative. I will be sleeping in my car.
Well, my taxes and yours pay for this parking lot too, pal. So enjoy your tax
my car
money.
Across the street.
So, so we got two people that are at least going to be in the area. How do we feel about the homeless shelter situation?
I'll stay in the homeless shelter. I'm also a cologne salesman.
That's why I have to know how far away my place is. Is it walking distance from there, or
it's LA? It's not terribly far. Maybe not walking distance, but you could catch a taxi if you really wanted to go home.
Okay. I'm gonna head to the nightclub. It's only a few blocks, and
the asylum.
Yeah, and when I start to finish the night, I'll probably end up heading my way home.
Dude, when you see the nightclub
compelling business.
Yeah. Now, as a character,
Okay.
as a player character, you are sort of in charge of compelling yourself. Like, as a DM, like, I'll give you the situations, but you really should be giving yourself the reason why you would want to stick with the group. Is how that usually works.
Yeah.
So, like, if you can come up with a compelling reason to stick with the group, if cool. If you can't and you go off somewhere, you're going to be separated from the party, and you may not. It's going to be hard to include you in what happens next, sort of. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair.
It is a tabletop game. It is incredibly difficult to be like 100%. You know, like to have this 100% world, all everything,
Yeah.
single thing figured out, whatever. So I'm not saying like don't do it. Something could happen. But I'm saying that if you're not with the rest of the party, things are going to be happening to the rest of the party, and we'll just see what happens from there. You know, like
Yeah.
We can always
That's why I
call
figured
them
I would go to
something
the nightclub that's right there, so I'm right there in the. Sort of
oh
in
yeah,
the,
you're
in the
very
audience.
close. Yeah, you're only a couple of blocks away from the show.
Okay.
I'm going to ask Bob to come with me because he doesn't creep me out.
Wow.
There's something about him that vibes with me.
I fucking
what?
kind of love that. So, and I'm sure Bob doesn't know what to do with it. I think he's very at home.
He just keeps. I keep
creeping
just
people out.
being social with him and just like talking to him like I would normal people.
I guess
He's very not used to that.
I guess I could put this job off until tomorrow. Oh yeah, sure, we can hang out at this nightclub.
You're gonna put your job off.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not used to social calls and company, and like you said, I don't know what to do about it, so I'm just kind of rolling
No,
with it.
I'm fucking about it. I just didn't expect that. So
And
that's
you know
good.
what? It'll give me more time to stew on this whole Nigel situation because there's something it's on the tip of my tongue, and I can't remember what's going on with it.
Guys, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie, I'm really simping Johnny and Bob. I'm like starting to
You
it's starting to grow on me. Yeah.
Yeah, shipping Johnny and Bob could happen.
I didn't even
Could happen.
say-
Bobo and John Boy. Oh, I need some clarification, by the way. The Asylum is a nightclub?
Nightclub.
Then what was the museum?
The museum is Gallery Noir.
Okay, and
Whoa.
Therese, does she own
Both.
She owns both. Got it.
But her twin sister operates.
Yeah, her
The
twin
asylum.
sister is the one who operates the asylum, and Francine is the museum curator. for
What was the museum
Gallery
called again? I didn't run it by me.
Gallery Noir.
Noir.
Bet it's spelled with an E.
Noir. Nope, just Noir.
Oh, fancy.
Otherwise, it'd be Noire. That's two E's, right? Either way. So, yeah, Brian, like I was telling them, you guys have sort of met on the pier. There's a bunch of questions up in the air. You're not really sure where you're going to stay tonight. It has been suggested.
I'm staying.
Yeah, it has been suggested that you stay at the access point tonight, which is a homeless shelter that's actually pretty nice, and it's right here in the area. Instead of having to get your ass all the way back out to Pacific Palisades, right here in the area is the access point. So we've got two of you are already planning on going to the asylum, a nightclub, and then we'll see where the night takes you from there.
When they suggest going to the access point, I look over at Swarley and go, "Hey, Swarley, you're homeless again."
Sorry, do you mean Scorley?
Yeah.
I'm never home. I just tap on the side of fucking Justice Mobile over here. You're never homeless when you were
Oh,
Justice.
the Lincoln Continental.
What? I can't remember what that car was. It's a.
As they take it from a pro, living in a car counts as homeless, bud.
Home is where the car is, or whatever.
So we got two people going to the nightclub. Is anybody else going to the nightclub, or is it just the two?
I'm an old lady.
You know, you still go to the club, hang out, maybe scout out a couple of marks. You know,
Yeah, I'll not be hitting the nightclub.
Sure.
I'll go.
Yes, sir.
okay.
Actually, I'll go. I'll go to the nightclub. I'll be.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Everybody's going.
Go on.
All right.
I'm gonna
Yeah, I
sit
mean,
at the
like I said,
bar, being that grumpy dude, making just nasty comments about everybody and how you can't
It's-
smoke inside anymore.
Yep,
and
it's a
just
midweek.
ordering-
like middle of the week night, so it's not terribly busy. You guys get right in, no problem. There are people dancing on the dance floor. There are poles being danced on, and there's a big gruff bartender, Barney, who is just as soon as you walk in, he's like, "What can I get you?"
I'll have a cranberry juice.
Like vodka cran, or like?
Yeah, but hold the vodka, please.
And he just passes you a cranberry juice. All right, you got it, bud.
Much obliged, sir. Wow, it's really loud back here.
Yeah, that's kind of the point.
Hey, if y'all don't stop, I swear to God. Hey, take that shit out of here.
I do like a gypsy dance to the music. I'm like swirling scarves around and shit.
There's a bunch of like young girls that are very much like go-go boots and fucking like sort of the reminiscing on the 80s fashion, and they see you with all your scarves and they immediately just like flock around you.
It's a Chrysler Enforcer. Sorry, I had to go look that up.
I was trying to remember because it wasn't in my notes, surprisingly.
Yeah, it was very briefly mentioned, and we scooted right on about it. So, so you guys get in and get situated, whether you are at the dance floor or the bar or what have you. And a woman walks in, very pale skin, blonde hair. Imagine very much like Harley Quinn-esque look. Very short plaid skirt, ripped up like a shirt that's just kind of tied off, looks kind of like an A-frame almost on her, and then tied like right below the tits. And she walks in and she just, like tall ass platform boots. So she stomps in and she says, like out of like a door that's already like sort of in this building somewhere. She says, "Oh, we got some fresh faces here. What's going on, everybody?" And she just kind of plops down at the bar next to you.
Hi. Well, we're just in here having a fun night of camaraderie with a few friends and a few drinks, some alcoholic, some not. How are you?
While you're talking, she leans in and sniffs you and says, "I like you."
Well, you might like this cologne that I sell. I open up a pouch with cologne in it.
She immediately like paused it down and says, "Put that away. Don't make me not like you."
When she sniffs Bob, I scoot
Look at me.
one bar stool farther away.
As soon as she like gets kind of like rough and demanding with him, in his mind he's like, "I think I might like you."
In his mind, he doesn't actually say it.
He does not say
I
it.
love the ones that put up a fight. Feisty.
And she says, "Listen, keep being weird, but don't try to sell me anything. And I'm gonna kiss you tonight." And she gets up and then just fucks back off into whatever room she came out of.
And I look over at Scorley and I go, should I have winked at her or something? I think I missed my shot.
Barney, the bartender, leans up and says, "Yeah, that's Jeanette. If she shows any kind of interest, you can be as fucking weird as you want, I guess." The wink probably would have been super awkward and she'd have liked it. You really fucked this up. You missed your shot.
I feel like I tightened my tie up a little bit.
If you wink at her later, she might kill you.
Wow.
Yeah, I feel like
that's a risk I'm willing to take.
Might not have wanted to take. So,
What'd you say, Anthony?
I said I feel like it's a shot you might not have wanted to take, just fucking another.
Yeah, no, whatever you're having, he shoots it your way. And you see a head poke out from the door, and she leans back out and says, "It's all on me. Whatever they're drinking, it's all on me." And then she just shuts the door behind her.
In that case, I'll get the good stuff from the top shelf, please.
And yeah, it's very easily done. So you guys are sitting at the bar or wherever you are all throughout this place. It's a relatively sizable spot. It's got 2 floors. You know, there's a very like up the stairs is sort of like where tables are set up, and you can sort of like get up there and do like chill, as opposed to being down here where all the energy is.
I sidled right up to Scorley and pointed out how Bob looked like he was getting lucky tonight, just to see how he would react.
I like a little bit of, I'm assuming very classy bourbon is kind of like comes out my nose. And I am like, and I should just grunt and try and move yet again to another farther seat.